Hello friends, Marcy here, and I'm about to flush my Kaweco iridescent pearl. I have the broad nib on here, and I when I purchased this pen, um, my intention was to use the Sailor Mano Haha ink. Let me show you some of the colors because it has the blue and the green and the purple. Um, I thought it would match this pen beautifully. But when I first started using it, I was using a smaller nib. I don't remember if it's fine or medium, but I changed out the nib several times until I got to this broad nib, and with intentions to enjoy that Sailor Mano Haha ink in here. Anyway, I am going to flush this uh, cartridge, and I thought I would just push record during the process and bring you along with me. So the reason I want to flush a cartridge, even though they're disposable, you can toss them and insert a new one. And I have quite a few Kaweco cartridges, an assortment, but this is the most recent color I purchased to go with my new Royal Amethyst. But it's very simple to just pop out and pop in. But if you like to use your own inks, of course, you can always purchase the converter, which is very, very tiny. This one happens to be empty and flushed, and it is a plunger. Goodness, it's a tight plunger. Okay, so as you can see in comparison, it does not hold quite as much ink as the cartridge. So that's why you might want to use a larger ink capacity, especially with a broad nib, because a broad nib will put more ink onto your paper. And this one in the macchiato happens to be a fine nib, so that is a satisfactory choice there using the converter. But another option you have with a Kaweco pocket pen is to dropper fill the body, which means you just fill this with ink, and then you would put some silicone lubricant along the threads and put it in. And having the transparent body like this one, it would hold quite a bit of ink, and you could also always tell when you're out. I've never dropper filled a Kaweco. I have several other dropper fill pens that I tend to use, but I'm going to have to be adventurous one day and try that out. But for today, in case you have never flushed a cartridge before, I'm going to do that here with you. So I'm going to flush the cartridge with a syringe, and then I'm going to flush the nib. It's easiest to do over the sink, but I'll give you some experience here with a jar. Okay, so we're just going to use a syringe filled with clean water. Hold it over your, it could be an empty jar or whatever, but I'm going to just flush out the ink here, and it's a pretty quick process, as you can see. So I'm going to do that again. Of course, you can always finish with the clean jar. And then if you have any residue in there, you can always insert the syringe and siphon the liquids out. There you go. So cartridge is clean and ready to go. And then as far as the nib, it's easiest to do over the sink. You can run water over it, or you can use a bulb syringe. And here's mine. It's empty. I'm just going to put some water in. I'm not using clean water yet because this is my initial flush, but you can see how much ink comes out in that initial, oops. And this is why you want to do it over the sink. It's quite messy. But pretty quickly I'm getting a clear expellation of water here. The dirty water you're seeing in the bottom is from the beginning, but what's coming out now is clear, so we're good to go. I love it. And I'm only on the first bulb syringe full of liquid, so that was very, very quick. And now comes the choice of ink. So I'm going to move my part of my mess over here. And this cartridge, when I inserted it, was from Kaweco. It came with the pen. It was full of the black ink. It's what comes with when you purchase it. And I just put it in my broad nib pen because I wanted to write it out and empty it out. So I did that. And I'm thinking about using, instead of the haha, something different. So my Noodler's General of the Armies. And I'm looking, I just pulled this out of the box and I see a bright deep green. And then at the bottom, I don't know if you can see that purple blue hue, and also very, very light hint of that somewhere at the top. But because of that, I don't know if I need to invert this and disperse, I don't know, mix up something. I wasn't sure what had settled. I just think it's amazing to see that color change in the ink there. Yeah, I don't want to shake too vigorously. These Noodler's bottles are quite full to the brim. Not a lot of air, not a lot of room for air bubbles. And I've only used sample vials of this that I received from my friend Gail. Once I received the sample and used it, I loved it so much that I did purchase a full bottle. So we're going to go with opening a full bottle. I did get some bubbles up there. A full bottle of the General of the Armies. And I don't know, this is looks like a very dark olive green. Nothing bright like on the bottle, or nothing purple like on the bottom. So I'm going to pull my syringe up. It doesn't need much. Okay, let you see what I got here. And insert it into the cartridge. I'm trying to push slowly so I don't have an explosion, but there we go. Wow, almost perfect measurement there. All right, I'm going to put this back onto my nib. These are not screw-in cartridges. You just have to push firmly. Get my pen back together and wait for gravity to pull some ink down, and we will come back and do a writing sample. Okay, let's get our writing tablet in here. This is the Nimacine 80 GSM dot grid, and I'm hoping that yes, okay. Oh, nice. That does have a blue tint to it. I love shading inks, especially in a broad nib. This is a broad nib with the Noodler's General of the Armies. I normally do not tend to write so large, but with a broad nib, I do. I use fine nibs a lot because I use the smaller grid Hobonichi and various papers. But look at the shading and the color change on this. Beautiful. I think it matches the color of this very well. I'm going to do not really a swatch here. Put down some ink and let you see what's going on. Of course, broad nibs are always so smooth. Totally satisfied with the Kaweco broad. As it dries, I'm seeing a lot of like olive green that shades in with a light sky blue. I don't know if you're seeing that as I am, but it's very enjoyable. I really enjoy shading inks, actually more than shimmer inks, just because you never know what to expect as you're watching ink dry. And yes, there is a joy in watching ink dry. So there we go. Let's see. Oh, let's just record the date here. You know what? Today's total eclipse day, and I am in the path of totality here in Texas. Um, so we are on April 8th, 2024, and I just went out to check, and I currently, earlier I was able to see the eclipse when it first started, but I currently have a cloud covering the sun, so I'm waiting for that to pass, and I'll take another glimpse at our eclipse, enjoying it. Happy Eclipse Day. All right. Thank you for spending some of your precious moments with me, enjoying watching ink dry, and you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.